Woo! They were evenly matched on paper, so let's find out. Von Miller. He's a freak of nature. Fearmonger. Blitz radar. Double me. Shut down. Let's go.
Oh, shit.
I know you be turning your mic off and shit, so when we get started, I know you gonna do it that way. But I gotta talk my shit up in here, so.
Good luck to you, B.
Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Hoosier State and Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They go play action here on first down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Back to it after the pick 6. Bridgewater trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore.
When I was in school, math was not my strong suit, but I did learn enough to know how to play cover 3. 2 corners and a safety divide up the field in thirds. On this play, the corner didn't get fooled by anything in front of him. Kept his coverage all the way down the sideline in the deep third position and makes the interception.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Hines. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Out of his end zone, Bridgewater. On the crossing route, complete. It's Duncan. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. It's a foot race. The 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. This is Hines. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Check 26, check 26. Watch out. Alert.
On 1st down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Wilson. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. Thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
That complete to Lamar Miller. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. 21-0 our score after 1.
Watch that in. Watch that in.
A first down carry now for Miller. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here we go. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Throwing on 2nd down. Bridgewater. And the catch made by Hilton. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. Incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Get that ball. 45 is the mic. Get that quarterback, D-line. Go. Quarterback, D-line. Drop him. 45, Mike, 45. Looks off in your face. Check. Fresno.
They just do get the play off. Now Bridgewater. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Luke Kuechly able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater. And this one incomplete. too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
To throw, Bridgewater. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, zero.
A run with Lindsey out of the gun. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to, and if you're in 4-down territory.
Oh, now Lindsey lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Jones has it. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
95. Check it back.
They'll try to run with Lindsey, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Phillip Lindsay as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. T.Y. Hilton once again the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Coming this way. Here we go. 43's the mic. 43's the mic. Hey, D-line. Hayward. 43's the mic. 43's the mic.
Final play of the half, Bridgewater. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Noah Fant, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now Bridgewater. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here we go. 45 is the mic. Let's go. Drive on. 45 is Mike. 45. 6. That's right, man. The ball. Shut up.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. To the right side to Eric Ebron. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. To throw is Bridgewater. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position.
One's the mic. Watch one. Watch one. Hey, easy. Touch.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. The kick by McManus is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on that last drive, Whitford on 4th turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Got an open man. That's Campbell. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Campbell making the catch. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Bridgewater to throw it. Looking middle, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Chris Harris with a pick. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson, this is the tight end fan. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Bridgewater. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Check. 3 down. Mike's 43. Mike's 43. I'm coming after you.
Bridgewater. Ebron with it over the middle. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 44-yard line. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Von Miller in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Throwing is Bridgewater. Catch made here by Campbell. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 32-yard line. Bridgewater on 1st down. Throwing right, and that's complete. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Bridgewater now. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. Oh, now Lindsey lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Bridgewater. And now here is another interception. Anthony Everett picks it, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, this team did today.
Good game, yo.
And we're never headed.
I got complacent.
So for Denver, there was a great...
I got predictable. Teddy. I got to work with Teddy. Teddy had 10 interceptions, bro.
I ain't gonna lie.
First fucking play of the game.
Hey, they